Good morning everyone and welcome to the 2025 European Universities Combat Championships, which are organized by the European University Sports Association. We are in Warsaw, Poland, and today we are going to watch a lot of fights in kickboxing. During this stream we are going to be watching fights in two formulas. First, during the morning session, we are going to be watching fights in full contact, and in the afternoon we are going to be watching fights in K1. My name is Patryk Pałys and I'm going to be commenting this event for you. As we can see, the referee is already in the ring and we are waiting for the first competitors. The 2025 European Universities Combat Championships is a huge event because here we are going to see fighters from all over Europe. When it comes to the whole event, which isn't only kickboxing but also judo, karate and taekwondo, there are 385 universities from 32 countries in total. When it comes to kickboxing, we are going to see fighters from 91 universities representing 14 countries. We are in Poland, so there will be a lot of Polish fighters, of course, but also we are going to see many athletes from countries such as Turkey, Portugal, Spain, and many more. 233 fighters in total registered for all the kickboxing formulas. There are going to be fights in 4 formulas in kickboxing, that is in point fighting, kick light, full contact and K1. As I said a moment ago, during this broadcast we're going to be watching the ring formulas. We are still waiting for the first competitors and we are about to watch the first fight.
ze Słowacji. Ponadto sędziować będą Agnieszka Małek, Krzysztof Rzepliński, Ryszard Zawistowski i Przemysław Bielodek. Szanowni Państwo, chciałbym również przywitać niezwykle gorąco w gościnnych progach warszawskiego hotelu Marsz osoby, które będą pracować przy stoliku. I warmly welcome to the team. Romeo Dessa, technical delegate, Adi Trikwi, IT official.
In the left corner, we can see our event partners. So, as I said a moment ago, the event is organized by EUSA and the University Sports Association of Poland and the University Sports Association of Warsaw. Our main partners are the City of Warsaw, the Ministry of Sport and Tourism, and the Continental Cycling Team, Mazovia Heart of Poland. Our event partners are the Służewiec Horse Riding Track, the Polish Taekwondo Federation, the Polish Judo Federation, the Polish Kickboxing Association, the Polish University Karate Federation, the WACO European Kickboxing Federation, Top 10, the Faculty of Management of the University of Warsaw, the Medical University of Warsaw, the Sports Institution of the capital city of Warsaw, the District of Włochy, the Włochy Sports and Recreation Center, the printing house Reklawiz, the Arche Hotels Network, Markot Media, the Usynów Sports and Recreation Center and Judo Market. Our technical partners are Toyota, W&J Wiśniewski and Sport Data. The European Universities Championships are held under the honorary patronage of the Marshal of Mazovian Voivodeship and the Mayor of the city of Warsaw. So we can already see the first fighter in the ring, in the blue corner.
First fight in 67 kilograms.
So in this first full contact bout, we are going to watch Rezo Robert from the University of Zagreb, Croatia, versus Sosnowski Łukasz, the University of Zielona Góra, Poland.
Minus 74 kilograms from España. From Spain, Jordi Mary Lobet. And Poland, Norbert Szczesiak. A więc również rozpoczął się, proszę Państwa, pierwszy z pojedynków w formułach planszowych. Na tatami już pojawili się reprezentanci Polski oraz zawodnik reprezentujący barwy Hiszpanii, Jordi Mary Lobet oraz Norbert Szczesiak z Polski.
And the second fighter has already arrived in the ring, so the fight is about to start. As we can see, the fighters are wearing long pants, so it means simply no low kicks. In full contact, low kicks are prohibited, only middle kicks and high kicks are possible. Plus, of course, boxing techniques. So the first round starts. We can see very dynamic kicks and a really nice front kick from the blue fighter.
Versus Robert Rezo, University of Zagreb, Croatia. First fight in minus 67 kilograms.
Another beautiful front kick, stopping the opponent. The Croatian fighter is more dominant in the first minute of the first round. It's only the beginning of the fight, but we can already see a lot of dynamic kicks and punches. It is an amateur bout, so every fight during this competition is gonna be 3 rounds, 2 minutes. There seems to be a technical problem with the equipment. And we're ready to go. The right fighter works with his jab to maintain the distance. Nice high kick. Very dynamic kicks from both. And this is the end of the first round, in my opinion. Rezo won the first round. He was more dynamic, more active, and he threw more punches, obviously. And here we can see some highlights from the very first round. One-minute break between rounds. So we will see if the blue fighter is going to maintain his ring generalship. We can see a nice exchange of combinations. Another middle kick. And there is a little bit of clinching. Of course, in full contact or in kickboxing in general, we aren't supposed to clinch. Clinching is fully legal only in Muay Thai. Sosnowski throws some combinations. There was a shot to the body. Clinch again. The fighters weigh 67 kilos, so this is the reason why they are so dynamic. 30 seconds left, so we are exactly in the middle of the bout. Nice counter with the right hand by Sosnowski. 5 seconds only. In my opinion, the second round was a bit better for Sosnowski. He wasn't dominated that much as he had been in the first round. However, as we can see on the scoreboard, Robert Renzo is winning this fight, which isn't surprising. The Polish competitor improved his boxing in the second round. He managed to throw at least one uppercut, some body shot. So yeah, there is a little improvement here, but it's not enough. There is only one more round left, so it is almost impossible for Sosnowski to win this bout by decision.
They are preparing to the next fight. Second fight, minus 67 kilograms. Reklawiz from Technical University of Slovakia versus Warszawa from Hungary. Przed nami, drodzy Państwo, drugi z pojedynków ligowej. Reklawiz ze Słowacji, z Reklawice z reprezentantem.
There are a lot of middle kicks in this fight, however, as we can see, most of them are successfully blocked, so they don't cause a lot of damage. And there was a nice swipe. As I said, low kicks are illegal in full contact, however, swipes are kind of exception because they aren't officially considered to be low kicks, even though they attack the legs. Excuse me, not swipes, sweeps. Sweeps aren't that common in full contact. Of course, the middle kick is the most popular kick, but they can be still very useful when it comes to deteriorating the balance and simply irritating the opponent. Nice exchange of punches in the corner. 20 seconds left. And that's at the end of the last round. In my opinion, the winner of the fight is obvious. But let's wait for the official verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, first fight in ring categories minus 67 kilograms. Łukasz Sosnowski, red corner, University of Zielona versus Robert Rezo, University of Zagreb, Croatia, blue corner. We will soon find out who is winner.
And no surprise, Rezo Robert from the University of Zagreb, Croatia, has won the first fight.
Fight minus 67 kilograms. Fight number 2, minus 67 kilograms of ring categories. Marian Krakawka, technical university.
And here we could see this nice sweep.
Red corner versus Vilmos Szabotot in blue corner.
And the high kick. It didn't land properly with full power. If it had landed properly, that would have been a knockout.
Reprezentanci Słowacji oraz reprezentant Węgier Marian Krakawka oraz Vilmos Szabotot. Do następnego pojedynku przygotowują się natomiast Jakub Zagórski, University in Nowy Sącz, reprezentant Polski z Uniwersytetu w Nowym Sączu versus Tarmur Rajmashan.
Slovakia versus Hungary in the second bout.
Jakub Zagórski from Poland versus
Klikawa Marian from the Technical University of Košice. And the fight has already started. And there seems to have been an illegal technique to the groin. No clinching. Oh, there are a bunch of nice boxing combinations by both fighters. Very nice dodge by the blue fighter.
in tatami board minus 63 kilograms. Mohamed El Kandani from the University of Zaragoza.
Vilmos from Hungary has a really hard time here. He tries to survive by clinching, which is successful to an extent, but we don't know if it's gonna last long.
Versus Szabotot in blue corner. Let's start fight. First round in tatami board. Państwo proszony, czwarty z pojedynków w formule planszowej.
There is a big probability of a knockout in this fight based on what we see.
Przygoda jest tego boju około do 63 kg.
Oh, there was a nice jab, even two, by Szabo. And this is the end of the first round. Let's see some highlights. As of now, according to the judges, Kulkawka Marian wins the fight 2-0. And the second round starts. Whoa, there is a takedown, which is of course illegal. The fighter... However, the fighters didn't receive an official warning. The defensive skills by Szabo are really good because thanks to his dodges and ducking, he manages to avoid a lot of punches. But for his skills, he would have been knocked out already. The referee breaks the clinch again. Clean shots from both competitors to the head. Oh, there is going to be a knockout? No, the fighter from the Edvos Leonard University manages to survive. The blue corner has already received the first official warning. This is an amateur bout, so here you're going to be receiving warnings if you keep your head down too much. In professional fights, referees do not care actually. It's not illegal to do it, but here for safety reasons, it is considered to be a foul if you keep your head down, because it is dangerous for a fighter's health. Another illegal technique. Szabo needs to rest after the groin kick, also known as the kingeri, if you also know karate terminology. We can see the takedown. Unfortunately, no points for style for that. It's not Sanda. That was nice.
Szanowni Państwo, przed nami trzecia, więc ostatnia odsłona pojedynków w kategorii do 67 kg formuła ringowa. Między innymi, przypomnę, są dwaj reprezentanci Węgier i Słowacji. Marian Krakawka, Technical University of Kosice versus Slovakia. From Slovakia versus Vilmos from Szabo from Hungary. Let's start round of three. Marian Krakawka, red corner.
And the final round starts with a front kick.
Vilmos from Szabo, University.
which isn't fully clean, as we can see. There was some problem, but I'm not sure if it was related to the kick as such. Klikavka starts aggressively with boxing combinations. That was a clean shot. A very dynamic exchange of punches.
They're preparing to the next fight, minus 67 kilograms. Fight number 3.
Another groin kick during this fight. The fighters, the gentlemen, exchange groin kicks in this fight quite a lot. However, I don't think it's going to lead to disqualification of either fighters. What a slugfest! A lot of clean punches from both fighters, however the red fighter dominates. That was a nice sidestep by the blue one. 1 minute left. That's a really nice slugfest. So watching this fight, we can clearly state that this is a European level of kickboxing. The fighters are really well prepared, no cardio problems as of now. Six seconds. And in my opinion, the verdict here is going to be just a formality. As we can see on the screen, Marian Klikavka, representing the Technical University of Košice, has won the fight 3-0 unanimously. Congratulations for both competitors for really nice exchanges of punches.
Next fight, minus 67 kilograms in the ring categories, Jakub Zagórski. Please welcome, red corner, University in Nowy Sącz, Poland versus Tangur Raymazhan, National Defense University from Turkey. Jakub Zagórski, red corner, Tangur Raymazhan in blue corner.
Just a little anecdote about this event. The youngest fighter is 17 years old, and the oldest one is 30. So no old boys here.
Fight oznaczony numerem 3, kategorię do 67 kg. Reprezentant Polski Jakub Zagórski i reprezentant Turcji, który za chwilę pojawi się w narożniku niebieskim. Fight number 3 in the categories minus 67 kg. Jakub Zagórski, University in Nowy Sącz from Poland versus Bangor. National Defense University from Turkey. Let's start first round. Jakub Zagórski in the red corner versus Turkey blue corner. First round.
We're waiting for fight number 3 to start.
We will start first round in 67 kilograms. Jakub Zagórski from University in Nowy Sącz, Poland versus Bangor. National Defense University from Turkey. 67 kilograms. First round. Let's start it.
The competitors are still waiting to start.
Szanowni Państwo, za chwilę rozpoczynamy trzeci z pojedynku w formule ringowej. Jakub Zagórski z Nowego Sącza oraz reprezentant Turcji Sojusz. Między nami czekamy jeszcze na sygnał od zespołu sędziów. Quarterfinal minus 63 kilograms. Winner Hamdani.
I think there is a technical problem with the scoring system, but we should start in a moment anyway.
The next fight in tatami board, Felix Schmidi started red corner, University of Athletics from Austria versus Gergo Schatz, Hungarian University of Sports in blue corner. A więc za chwilę rozpoczynamy kolejną z walk w formule planszowej. Przed nami starcie reprezentanta Austrii Felixa Schmidi oraz reprezentanta Węgier Jorgo Szras.
And finally we can come back to watching the fights. Unfortunately we aren't able to see the names of the competitors yet. A very nice exchange of boxing techniques, especially by the blue fighter. A lot of them land clean. So in the red corner, Jakub Zagórski representing Poland, WSBNL University in Nowy Sącz. And I think we are going to see the first 8 count. No, no, the referee decided not to 8 count the red fighter from Poland. However, he receives a lot of punches to the head. He tries to compensate that with middle kicks, but as of now it is pretty clear in my opinion, and in the judge's opinion as well, that the fighter from Turkey wins the fight. 12 seconds left. The referee makes sure everything is okay with Zagórski, and this is the end of the first round. Again, full contact, man under 67 kilograms. I'm Hasan Tangur from the National Defense University, Turkey, versus Zagórski Jakub, WSBNL University in Nowy Sącz, Poland. Zagórski seems to be okay after the first round, however, he has already received a lot of punches to the head, clean ones. So there must have been damage to him. So the second round starts with a slugfest. Zagórski received a big right hand to the head. However, he's still okay. We can see the technical dominance by the fighter from Turkey. He is more relaxed, more dynamic, and his ring generalship is by far better. Zagórski starts with the front kick. However, he's countered. The referee breaks the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, fight number 3 in 67 kilograms, ring categories, Jakub Zagórski, University in Nowy Sącz from Poland.
And the fight is officially stopped by the referee, so this results in a TKO in round 2 due to the technical dominance of the blue fighter.
By TKO in the second round, fight number 3, winner.
There weren't any knockdowns in this fight, however, we could easily see how massively the red fighter was dominated. So in kickboxing, especially in the amateur formula, doesn't matter whether it's K1, low kick, or full contact fights, sometimes result in a technical knockout, not a classical one. So in many cases, again, especially in amateur fights, 8 counts aren't even necessary to stop the fight by the referee.
A więc drodzy Państwo, za chwilę rozpoczniemy czwarty z pojedynków w formule ringowej. Fight number 4, minus 67 kg. Antoni Kuchaj, Technical University of Košice, Slovakia. In the red corner. In blue corner, we will see Daniel Diken, Catholic University from Hungary.
In the next fight, we're going to see Kuchal Antoni from the Technical University of Košice, Slovakia, versus Dichen Daniel, Asharski Karoli Catholic University, Hungary. Excuse my pronunciation, but the Hungarian names are the most difficult to pronounce. We can see even by the surnames that the Hungarian language is really complex.
They are preparing for the next fight. Michał Sadowski, University in Nowy Sącz from Poland, and João Pedro Schmidt, Pereira, University of Algarve, Portugal. Ale zapraszamy Państwa również na walkę numer 5, kategorii do 71 kg. Michał Sadowski oraz João Pedro Pereira.
And the fight starts calmly.
Którzy za kilka chwil zameldują się w formule ringowej.
Now we see excellent kicks. First a spinning kick, then a front kick by the red fighter. So after a very short, calm beginning of the fight, we can see a lot of action, spectacular techniques. And there was a sweep attempt by the red fighter. That was a powerful middle kick. Another spinning kick, however, not successful. 30 seconds left of the first round. Another break. And this is the end of the first round.
Antoni Kuchaj, Technical University of Košice from Slovakia versus Daniel Dichen, Catholic University from Hungary. Fight number 4, minus 67 kilograms.
So this is the fourth fight today in the 67 kilograms category in full contact. Middle kick. and clinch again. Another attempt of a spinning kick, spinning wheel kick. So as we can see at the moment, this style of this fight is slightly different from the previous bouts. There is less of a slugfest. However, on the other hand, there are more spectacular techniques, such as the aforementioned spinning kicks.
A w następnym pojedynku w formule ringowej w kategorii do 71 kg rękawice skrzyżują reprezentanci Moskwy oraz reprezentant Portugalii. Nowaki przygotowują
The gentlemen try to exchange punches, however, most of them don't land clean. Another middle kick from the front leg. There was a high kick, however, it doesn't land clean. "15 seconds left. Another high kick attempt, however blocked. And as we can see after the second round, Kuchal Antoni from Slovakia is winning this fight unanimously. However, as we all know, in martial arts, everything can happen at any time. So I'm sure every kickboxing, boxing, MMA fighter has seen a lot of fights in which all of a sudden one fighter knocked out, or in the case of MMA, submitted another unexpectedly.
The last round, round number 3.
Exchange of kicks this time. Fencing with the legs. And that was a big right hand by the red fighter.
Preparing for the next bout, Michał Sadowski, University in Nowy Sącz, Poland, and Jean-Pedro Ferreira-Schmidt, University of Algarve from Portugal.
Dan Ditchen tries to use effective techniques, spectacular techniques. That was an interesting combination. The high kick plus the spinning kick, however, it's not successful at all. Such techniques, in spite of being very spectacular for the audience, unfortunately for the opponent, are pretty predictable. That's why they are rarely used in kickboxing.
Fight number 6, 63 kilograms, Ekin Badak, the University of Health from Turkey.
20 seconds.
Jean-Paul, the second Catholic University of Lublin.
Another attempt of a wheel kick.
Winner this fight, Ekin Badak, the University of Health, Turkey.
And in the last seconds of the third round, Kuchal accentuates his ring generalship.
Minus 84 kilograms. Pucharem Oczal Marshal in the red corner from Turkey versus Łukasz Pawerek, University of Ostrava from Czech Republic. A my za chwilę znać będziemy zwycięzcę pojedynku numer 4 w kategorii do 67 kg. Ladies and gentlemen, fight number 4, minus 67 kilograms, Antoni Kuchaj versus Daniel Diche. And the winner is...
We can see the replay now. All of those spinning wheel kick attempts. And now we're about to see a quarter-final fight in full contact again, of course. However, this time in the 71 kilograms category. The so-called lightweight. In kickboxing, usually we do not use names such as welterweight, heavyweight, featherweight, bantamweight, and so on and so forth. We typically use just the numbers, like under 71 kilos, under 57 kilograms, etc. However, in the martial art jargon, still we use such names as lightweight, heavyweight, and so on, even if they aren't the official names of the weight categories by a given federation, as in this case. Sadowski Michał from Poland versus Schmidt Ferreira João Pedro from Portugal. There was an illegal technique to the leg. A lot of body punches by the red fighter. And there is a big right hand from the blue fighter. We will see if the red competitor is able to compete. But fortunately the fight continues. A lot of very dynamic action. There is a high kick. First knockdown today. The red fighter kneels and is not able to continue the fight. Congratulations to the blue fighter. That is a very spectacular finisher. As I said in the previous fight, we could see a lot of effective techniques, however they were unsuccessful. This time only one spectacular kick, but automatically a knockout. Some medical aid is needed. Let's hope everything will be okay with Sadowski. The knockout was brutal, was vicious. However, fortunately, Um, the red fighter didn't lose consciousness, so everything should be fine eventually.
Przed nami szósta walka w kategorii ringowej do 71 kg. Karlo Murzinić z Chorwacji.
The referee and the volunteer are cleaning the blood from the ring. So as we can see, kickboxing is a dangerous sport, especially the full contact formulas. Here, in full contact, as the name suggests, there are no limits when it comes to power. You can use as much power as you can, unlike in the tatami formulas, in which you mustn't knock out your opponent. In this fight, we were able to see two competitors, one from Portugal, one from Poland. These two teams are represented by the most fighters during the EUSA event.
Przed nami szósta walka w kategorii do 71 kg. Oczywiście formuła ringowa, formuła full contact. Karlo Murzinić z Chorwacji i Jordan Becher z Francji. So please welcome in the red corner Karlo Murzinić, University of Split, Croatia. In the blue corner, Jordan Beckett, University of Rouen, France.
If you are interested in less brutal kickboxing matches, you can also watch point fighting and kick glide during the 2025 European Universities Combat Championships. There is a special stream just for the tatami. In the tatami formulas, the knockout power isn't that important because officially you mustn't knock your opponent out, but your ring astuteness, flexibility, technical skills are more important. Of course, I'm not saying that you don't need technical skills in the full contact formulas, in the ring formulae. However, of course, in some cases, you might be able to compensate your technical imperfections with strength.
A my na bieżąco przypominamy oczywiście szkoleniowcom oraz kierownikom poszczególnych ekip, aby śledzili na bieżąco rozpiskę podczas pierwszego dnia europejskich mistrzostw w sportach walki. Remind trainers and coaches the check to the fighting schedule on the first day of the competition. Fight number 6, minus 71 kilograms, Karlo Murzinić, University of Split. In the red
And
corner,
fight number 6 starts
University of Rouen, France.
very dynamically. The gentlemen trade shots massively. The red fighter managed to duck down, and he receives a nice stop kick. Another middle kick. The blue fighter wants to start the combination with the front kick, which lands successfully. However, he doesn't manage to finish the combination. Carlo Muzinic from the University of Split versus Jordan Batchett from the University of Rouen. We can see there is another groin kick today.
Śledzimy również teraz Państwa pojedynek numer 8 w formule planszowej Martin Walid z Węgier oraz Damian Anis Garcia reprezentujący Hiszpanię. To są zawodnicy, którzy kilka chwil temu zameldowali się.
Nice combinations. And this is the end of the first round. According to the scoreboard, Jordan Batchett is winning this fight.
84 kilograms, Jolt Alit, Hungarian University of Sports. Red corner, Sabin Sahin, Mustafa Kemal University from Turkey. Blue corner.
That was a beautiful uppercut. As we can see in amateur fights, fighters must always wear protectors, of course head protectors and chin and foot ones. In professional full contact competitions, there aren't helmets, however, and the feet protectors are obligatory.
University of Split, Croatia, and John McCarthy, University of Rouen, France.
Clean shots to the body.
75 kilograms, fight number 7, Simon Boye, University of Zagreb, Croatia, and Istanbul Okan, University from Turkey.
A lot of clinching and dirty boxing in this fight. The red fighter almost collapses. The referee breaks the clinch, which again isn't illegal, but it's not the dimension in which kickboxers fight. The red fighter collapses again, however, it's not an 8 count. Muzinic receives the first official warning by the referee. to keeping his head down. And this is the end of round 2.
Second round, minus 71 kilograms, Karlo Murzinic, University of Speed Croatia, and Jordan Beckett, University of Rouen, France. The last round, round number 3. Karlo Murzinic, in the red corner, Jordan Beckett, blue corner.
This time the weight limit is 75 kilograms. The coach motivates the fighter with a little slap. That's not super bon ton, so to speak, however it does work to motivate the competitor to try yet and yet harder to dominate the opponent to win the fight. So as you can see, this isn't a sport for delicate people.
Battle number 9 is underway on the board. In the red corner, John Ali from Hungarian University of Sports, and Sadin Sakin Mustafa Kemal University from Turkey. Preparing for the next fight in tatami board, 84 kilograms, Franjo Vucic, University of Zagreb, Croatia, start red corner, and Osman Ali Sirman, the University of Turkey, blue corner.
Very dynamic exchanges of both punches and kicks at the beginning of the round.
Croatia and Jordan Beckett from France. Fight number 6, minus 71 kilograms.
One minute till the fight ends. According to the judges, Murzinic is winning the fight unanimously, but still a lot can happen. Murzinic shows to the referee that he has been hit in the back of the head. Which is of course illegal. Nice uppercut by Muzinits.
Fight number 7, minus 75 kilograms. Simon Poje, University of Zagreb.
And the fight is over.
Islam Okan, Istanbul Okan University, Turkey.
We are waiting for the official verdict as always. However, again, this is gonna be just a matter of formality. So far, we haven't seen very, very close fights in which judges would have a lot of work to do, difficult work. And thus far, and the fighters, so far it has been more or less obvious which fighter was supposed to win.
Winner fight number 6, minus 71 kilograms. Jordan Beckett, University of Rouen, France. Congratulations. Preparing the next bout, minus 75 kilograms. Simon Poje. Please welcome red corner, University of Zagreb, Croatia, and Islam Okan, Istanbul Okan University from Turkey. The next fight in the ring categories, minus 75 kilograms, Thomas Hierde, German University Management, and Thomas Kaszko, School of Management, Slovakia.
In the meantime, I would like to mention that this broadcast is being delivered to you by Market Media.
So we will start at fight number 7, minus 75 kilograms. Simon Poje, University of Zagreb, Croatia, red corner. In the blue corner, start fight Islam Okan, Istanbul Okan University, Turkey. Tak więc przed nami walka numer 7 w kategorii do 75 kg. Simon Poje, Uniwersytet w Zagrzebiu oraz Islam Okan, Istanbul Okan University. To jest reprezentant Turcji, który za chwilę także stanie do tego pojedynku. Czekamy jeszcze na jego rywala.
We are still waiting for the second fighter to... And he has already stepped into the ring.
Panie i panowie, zakończył się pojedynek w kategorii powyżej 84 kg. Formuła Warszawa, rząd Alik z Węgier i Sabin Sachim z Turcji. Fight number 9.
Fight number 9 during the first day of the competitions. The EUSA event officially started yesterday. However, yesterday there was only an opening ceremony, some general technical meetings and other organizational stuff. Today is actually the first fight, the first day of competitions. Simon Poje from the University of Zagreb, Croatia versus Islam Yusan from the Istanbul Okan University, Turkey. Apart from Polish and Portuguese fighters, there are a lot of competitors from Turkey as well. Many people might think that Turkey shouldn't be participating in the event because it's not a European country. However, 13% of Turkey's territory is actually in Europe, geographically speaking. This is the reason why Turkish fighters can freely participate both in European and Asian events, Asian championships. There is a high kick attempt. And this is a beautiful sweep by the red fighter. Front kick. Another high kick attempt. And this is the end of round 1.
Fight number 7, minus 75 kilograms, Simon Boye, University of Zagreb, Croatia, and Istanbul Okan University. Simon Boye, red corner. Islam Okan, blue corner. Preparing bout number 8, Thomas, German University of Health from Germany, and Thomas Kaszko, School of Management, Slovakia. A więc przed nami kolejna z walk, to będzie pojedynek numer 8 w formule ringowej, full contact do 75 kg, strzeżają rękawice reprezentant Niemiec, Wierny Thomas i Thomas Kaszko, reprezentant Słowacji. Second round, fight number 7, minus 75 kilograms, Simon Boye and Islam Okan.
A very nice combination by the by the blue fighter. Round 2 starts with a nice slugfest, a lot of combinations from both competitors. Another kin carry. A lot of dirty boxing here. And we can see a nice exchange of middle kicks. The referee reminds the competitor to keep his head up. This is not a serious but very common violation of rules when it comes to amateur kickboxing. And we are waiting for round 3.
Next round, fight number 7, minus 75 kilograms. Simon Boye, University of Zagreb, Croatia, and Islam Okan, Istanbul Okan University.
In the highlights we can see the fighters close the distance a bit too much. Sometimes.
przygotowują się zawodnicy w kategorii do 85 kg. Reprezentant Niemiec oraz reprezentant Słowacji. Preparing both fight number 8 minus 75 kilograms. Jürgen Thomas, German University of Health, Germany, in the red corner, and Thomas Kasko, School of Management, Slovakia, in the blue corner.
And that's a nice high kick attempt. We can see a lot of Whoa! Oh my goodness! That's a vicious knockout. There is no 8 count. The knockout happened in the blink of an eye. Another high kick KO today, but this one is yet more brutal.
Simon Boye, University of Zagreb, Islam Ukan, Istanbul Ukan University from Turkey. Fight number 7 and minus 75 kilograms.
The fighter will have to be transported by the medical staff from the ring. So as we can see, the situation this time is way more serious than previously in the case of the previous high kick KO. Left high kick, the Mirko Crow Cup famous technique. The fighter from the blue corner isn't able to leave the ring by himself. So as I said a moment ago, the situation is really serious. Let's hope everything will be okay.
Preparing the next bout in the ring categories and fight number 8 minus 75 kilograms. Jürgen Thomas, German University of Health, Germany, and Thomas Gasko, School of Management.
The competitor hasn't lost consciousness, however, so that's a good sign. One might say that 75 kilos isn't much, however, as you can see, even in such a weight category, there is a lot of power in those hands and in those legs. So you don't need to be a gigantic bodybuilder to generate a lot of power. And a quick reminder of our contest in general. Our main partners, the organizers. If you are interested in other sports, during this competition you can also watch fights in judo, randori, karate, kumite, and also taekwondo. So 4 combat sports at a time. So big congrats to Simon Poye for delivering such a vicious KO today.
Slovakia. Fight number 8, minus 75 kilograms. Full contact.
A little break to clean the ring. It's necessary after every few fights. The next fight, Thomas Bjarne from the German University for Prevention and Health Management, Germany, versus Gasko Thomas, the School of Management, Slovakia. Again, men under 75 kilograms. The fight starts gently. With distancing the opponent, but now we can see a very nice sweep which results in a collapse of the fighter from the blue corner. Again, sweeps aren't considered to be low kicks, so that's why this is the only leg technique below the belt which is perfectly legal. There was a punch to the back of the head. However, it wasn't Gasco's fault. "24 seconds.
Ale oczywiście, drodzy Państwo, pragnę przypomnieć, że organizatorem wydarzenia Rodziny rozpoczęło się dzisiaj, punktualnie o godzinie 10. Jest oczywiście sportowy Warszawa.
Gasco receives punches in the corner, but he manages to escape from it. Another sweep. And this is the end of round 1.
European Universities Combat Championship. The event is organized by the Warsaw Academic Sports Association and the Academic Sports Association.
According to the judges, Bjarne from Germany is winning this fight 2-0.
Mazowieckie, Voivodeship, and Służewiec main partners are the capital city of Warsaw, the Mazovian Voivodeship office in Warsaw, and the Ministry of Sport and Tourism. A za nami już pierwsze fragmenty pojedynku w kategorii do 75 kg. Wybierny Tomasz z Niemiec i Tomasz Gaszko ze Słowacji. Next round in fight number 8, minus 75 kg. Wybierny Tomasz, German University of Health from Germany in the red corner. And Tomasz Gaszko, School of
The Slovakian fighter seems to be taller than his rival. This was a nice taekwondo-like side kick by Toms. We don't see such kicks a lot.
A do następnej walki pojedynku numer 9.
Another such kick, such side kick.
Preparing fight of full contact minus 75 kilograms. University Hungary and Grupa.
Nice liver blow.
University.
40 seconds left, so there is still a lot of time. Very nice combination by Toms. We can see an exchange of punches, a little bit of a slugfest. So Toms accentuates nicely his ring generalship at the very end of the second round.
The fight number 8, Thomas Bjarne, German University of Health.
Unofficially, it is said that it's good to dominate one's opponent at the end of each round, because it is said that judges memorize those moments the most.
75 kilograms. The next fight, fight number 9, minus 75 kilograms. Becze Kajtar, Istvan University, Hungarian and
Nice series of
Georgian nationality.
body shots. and it's time for the fighters to carry on fighting. Round 3. Another nice sweep. Gasko is taller, but he can't really use this advantage over Tom's. With the reach advantage, he should be using a lot of front kicks and jabs to control the opponent, to maintain the proper distance. However, we can see that the red fighter closes the distance skillfully. The height difference may not be big, but in kickboxing, even 5 centimeters mean a lot. Half a minute left. Not much time for Gasko to overturn the fate of this fight, so to speak. There is a technical issue. The fight is stopped just 5 seconds before the ring. But that was only a technical issue, fortunately. And a nice exchange of shots at the end of round 3.
This is the last third round fight. Number 8, minus 75 kilograms.
So the fighter from Germany is going to win this bout.
So time to hear the verdict.
And this is a unanimous decision for the representative of the German University for Prevention and Health Management.
Number 8, minus 75 kilograms. Congratulations, Thomas, German University of Health Management from Germany. Winner this fight.
Let's see the highlights of this fight.
Preparing the next bout, fight number 9, minus 75 kilograms. Mecze Kajtar, Iszpan University.
The right counter.
And Luka Szonia, Georgia National University.
The fighter from the the blue corner was doing his best. However, it was clearly discernible that his opponent was technically better when it came to boxing exchanges.
75 kilograms. Mecze Kajtar, Iszpan University, Hungarian, and Luka Szonia from Georgia National University. And blue corner.
Kajtor Benz from Hungary versus Szonia Luka from Georgia. When it comes to Georgia, it is disputable whether it is a European country or not. Typically, it's considered to be an Asian country. However, some little part of it is formally in Europe. So this seems to be the reason why Georgia takes part in this European Championship. A few side kicks by Kaitar. The gentlemen trade punches so hard. So this fight might also end in the blink of an eye. A lot of footwork by Kaitar. He tries to relax himself this way. Seven seconds. Big right hand by Shania. Do kolejnej walki przygotowują się natomiast reprezentantka Polski Magdalena Garomska i reprezentantka Austrii z Uniwersytetu w Gdańsku. To będzie walka numer 16, kategoria do 65 kg, formuła Warszawa. Started the second round in fight number 9. Będzie Kaitar, University Hungarian, and Grupa, Georgia National. Another Taekwondo-like side kick by Kaitar. Front kick to the body. Kaitar switching the position from time to time, from orthodox to southpaw. Nice body shot, another body shot, and this is a knockdown. That was vicious. Kaitar is going to carry on So big respect for that because he received a few vicious punches to both sides of the body. That was a nice side kick. 6 seconds left. Spinning kick, however blocked. So no damage.
Zakończyła się nowa runda pojedynków w kategorii do 70.
Let's hope we'll be able to see the knockdown in the highlights. And here it is.
Second round finished. Fight number 9, minus 75 kilograms, representing Hungary. Meczek Kajtar and Luka Szonia, Georgia National University. Luka. So let's start at the last round, round number 3.
After the 2 rounds, we can say that the fighter from Georgia is clearly winning it.
5 kilogramów, również po tyle w punktach. Przygotowują się reprezentant Polski Filip Matyśkiewicz oraz Iliasz Warszawyk z Turcji. Preparing the next fight, fight number 10, minus 75 kilograms. Filip Matyśkiewicz, EUSA University of Physical Education in Warsaw. Iliasz Warszawyk.
Kajtar must have had some experience with Taekwondo because we can see this. Whoa! No 8 count. As I was saying, Kajtar must have had some Taekwondo background because we can see this fencing with the leg, with the side kick. Another big shot to the body by Luka. Ooh. Kajtar has a very hard time in the final round. But still, 50 seconds left, so let's see if he survives the round. A lot of clinching the final minute. And the winner of this fight is obvious. Luka Szonia from the Georgian National University, CEU.
Georgia National University. Like to hear the verdict. Tak więc, szanowni państwo, zwycięzcą tej walki reprezentant Gruzji Luka Szonia. Fight number 9, winner. This fight,
And
Luka
that was
Szonia,
a
Georgia
clean
National
side kick to the
University.
head.
Congratulations. A my już za chwilę rozpoczynamy pojedynek z udziałem reprezentanta Polski Filipy Matyśkiewicz.
The side kick is the technique which is pretty much characteristic of the full contact formula only, because it is very, very rare to see the very same technique in other kickboxing formulas.
Filip Matyśkiewicz, Józef Piłsudski University of Physical
I've been watching kickboxing fights for a dozen or so years, and I've seen the sidekick only once in K1, whereas in full contact we can see them in almost every fight.
University of Physical Education in Warsaw. Red corner versus
Red corner, Filip Matyśkiewicz from the Piłsudski University of Physical Education in Warsaw, Poland, versus Warszawa Ilyas from the National Defense University, Turkey. That was a calf kick. Not a sweep in my opinion. And that's why Orszabek receives his first official warning. Nice jab. There was a high kick attempt. Oh, big right hand. Right hook to the head. The Polish fighter manages to continue the fight, however. No 8 count this time, it was just a slip. This time he might have been hit in the back of the head, which is illegal, of course. And as we can see, this is the end of the fight. Just 3 seconds before the end of the first round, Filip Matyśkiewicz loses by TKO. The dominance was too big to even enter the second round.
First round, National Defense University. Congratulations. Tak więc, drodzy Państwo, poznaliśmy werdykt kolejnego z pojedynków w kategorii do 71 kg. Poprosimy o gorące brawa dla reprezentanta Polski, Filip Matyśkiewicz, który dzielnie spisywał się w tej walce. Ostatecznie górą okazał się przeciwnik, jego rywal z Turcji. Wygrywa tę walkę już w pierwszej rundzie. Przed nami teraz kolejne starcie reprezentanta Polski, Marcel Piekarz, który rozpocznie pojedynek w narożniku niebieskim. To będzie reprezentant oczywiście Polski, który skrzyżuje rękawice z zawodnikiem z Turcji. The next fight, fight number 11, minus 81 kg. Serdar Albarci, National Defense University from Turkey. In the red corner, his opponent, Marcel Piekarz, University in Nowy Sącz, Poland. Blue corner.
We are waiting for a bout in the under 81 kilograms category, the so-called middleweight. Piekarz Marcel, Poland, WSB NL University Nowy Sącz versus Anborsi Serdar, the National Defense University from Turkey.
Poland, Marcel Piekarz, University Nowy Sącz, blue corner.
So we are about to see slightly bigger guys this time. Not heavyweights yet.
To nie ostatni z pojedynków w tej kategorii wagowej, bowiem przed nami walka, którą także otrzyma sobie apetyty pojedynek kolejnego z reprezentantów Polski, Mateusz Dąbrowski, który będzie miał okazję skrzyżować rękawice w walce numer 12, zmierzy się z reprezentantem Niemiec. The next fight, fight number 12, minus 81 kilograms, Mateusz Dąbrowski, Józef Piłsudski, University of Physical Education in Warsaw versus Lukas Jancius, German University of Reputation. Serdar Anbarci, red corner, National Defense University versus Marcel Piekarz, University in Nowy Sącz from Poland. Blue corner.
And there is a technical problem with the helmet, but we should carry on with the fight in a second. That was a big straight punch. What a slugfest! That was going to be a big slugfest. Unfortunately, the Polish fighter lost his helmet, his head protector. But that had potential to be an excellent exchange of punches. Piekarz is already bleeding.
So fight number 11 with Serdar Anbarci, Marcel Piekarz.
And the fight is continued. Oh, another big right hand. Piekarz starts bleeding even more. A medical professional needs to take a look at it, whether it will be possible to continue the fight or not, which might result in a TKO. The nose is probably broken as well.
Serdar Anbarci and Marcel Piekarz, fight number 11. It's notified by judges. Szanowni Państwo, przed nami króciutka przerwa. Mamy nadzieję, że potrwa ona niedługo w tej walce w kategorii do 81 kg. Pojedynek numer 11, Serdar Anbarci z Turcji i Marcel Piekarz z Polski. Oczywiście reprezentant Uniwersytetu w Nowym Sączu.
Let's hope the host representative will be able to come back to this duel.
Reprezentantów Polski Mateusz Dąbrowski oraz reprezentant Niemiec Lukas Jęcius. Fight number 12. Fight number 12. Preparing board. Minus 81 kilograms. Mateusz Dąbrowski, Józef Piłsudski University of Physical Education, Warsaw, and Lukas Jęcius, German University of Representation.
Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of time for the pole to recover, because if it takes too long, the fight officially results in a TKO. 10 seconds.
Panie i panowie, informacja oczywiście dla wszystkich tych, którzy trzymają mocno kciuki za postawę reprezentantów Polski w tym dniu podczas
Unfortunately, Marcel Piekarz is ready to come back to the duel.
za nami starcie w kategorii do 65 kg Magdalena Klopska i Bulmania Paslik. So fight number 16 minus 65 kilograms Magdalena Klopska, Tiger School of Engineering.
We are in the middle of round 1, and there is a lot of action.
Paslik, University of Graz from Austria is finished.
The Polish fighter somehow tried to take the opponent down, to hug him. I don't know what to call it. That's why he was warned. That was a clear shot. That is a clear shot by Anbarsi. Nice counter after a front kick. Piekarz is bleeding again, so I don't know if he will be able to fight, especially since there are time restrictions. He can't be given too much time to recover, as I said already. And unfortunately, due to the bleeding, the fight has to be stopped. And the Polish competitors aren't doing great today, so let's hope that changes. Nevertheless, let's not forget, it's the first day of the competition. It's the 23rd of August. The event finishes on Monday, on the 25th. So there is a lot of action ahead of us.
Tak więc, drodzy Państwo, trzymamy mocno kciuki za postawę reprezentanta Polski. Za chwilę Mateusz Dąbrowski pojawi się między innymi, by powalczyć o wygraną i awans do kolejnej rundy tego turnieju z reprezentantem Niemiec. Trzymamy za Polaka mocno kciuki. Mateusz Dąbrowski.
That fight had a lot of potential, but unfortunately the bleeding didn't enable us to watch it.
Tak więc za chwilę rozpoczynamy, szanowni Państwo, ten pojedynek, a z zapartym tłem, tę potyczkę między innymi będzie śledził oczywiście doświadczony arbiter Polskiego Związku Kickboxingu, pan Tomasz Małdyka, którego znamy doskonale z wielu walk, które prowadził jako arbiter między innymi. German University for Reputation.
In the red corner, Mateusz Dąbrowski from the Józef Piłsudski University of Physical Education in Warsaw, Poland, versus Jens Lucas, the German University for Prevention and Health Management, Germany.
Mateusz Dąbrowski, Józef Piłsudski University of Physical Education in Warsaw, and Lukas Jęcius, German University for Prevention. Fight number 12. Full contact, minus 81 kilograms. A w następnym pojedynku zobaczymy w akcji reprezentantów Węgier i zawodnika, który przyjechał do nas z Turcji. To będzie walka w kategorii do 86 kg. Oczywiście formuła full contact. Fight number 13, minus 86 kilograms. Thomas Marcel Kovac, Islam University from Hungary, and Gorkem Damar, Istanbul University from Turkey. No i drodzy Państwo, jesteśmy ciekawi, jak poradzi sobie w tym starciu zawodnik, który rozpoczyna pojedynek w narożniku czerwonym. Trzymamy za niego mocno kciuki. Reprezentant Polski Mateusz Dąbrowski, Józef Piłsudski University of Physical Education in the red corner. Representing Poland, Mateusz Dąbrowski. Fight number 12, minus 81 kilograms versus Lukas Jęcius, Germany University for Prevention. In the blue corner.
And here we go. We can see some marking with the front kicks. The first part of the first round is quite calm. Not too much aggression yet. Big right hand by Jęcius. Ten seconds. And I have to say the first round is quite calm. There wasn't a lot of action in the ring. Just warming up, mainly.
From Germany in the blue corner. So let's start at round number 2. I w międzyczasie zakończył się również także pojedynek w kategorii do 65 kg z udziałem reprezentantów Polski i Czech, Rebeka Matowa i Zuzanna Wesołowska. Była point fighting, walka numer 17. Fight number 17 at 65 kg, Rebeka Matowa, Medical College from Czech Republic, and Zuzanna Wesołowska,
Round 2.
second, Catholic University of Lublin. Fight is finished. Preparing the next bout, fight number 18, 65 kilograms, Sandra Sanchez, Polytechnic University.
The fighters use a lot of front kicks. However, they aren't used to actually stop or do any harm, but just to check the distance. That is a nice combination by Dąbrowski. Ended with a kick. And finally, a front kick landed clearly, landed clean. Thirty seconds left. According to the judges, the German fighter is winning this bout. However, his dominance isn't so obvious in my opinion. An uppercut attempt.
Panie i panowie, tak więc zakończyła się kolejna już druga odsłona pojedynku w kategorii do 81 kg. Second round, fight number 12.
The fight seems to be going toe to toe,
Red corner, EUSA University of Physical Education in Warsaw.
but the judges don't share my opinion, I think.
Zapraszamy serdecznie reprezentantów Węgier i reprezentanta Turcji. The next fight, fight number 13, men's 86 kilograms, Tomasz Marcel Kovac. Tomasz Marcel Kovac is from University, straight from Hungary, versus Görkem Damak, Istanbul University from Turkey. I przed nami jeszcze jedna, więc trzecia odsłona walki w kategorii do 81 kg. The next last round, round number 3, minus 81 kg. Mateusz Dąbrowski versus Lukas Wiecius.
We can see some dirty boxing here and front kicks again. In this fight, the competitors aren't using a lot of middle kicks, which is a tad surprising. There are way more front kicks than in most fights in full contact.
Preparing for the next fight, fight number 13, minus 86 kilograms.
In the final round, we can see that the German fighters' ring generalship improves. So he's going to be the winner of the fight, unless Dąbrowski does something spectacular within those 30 seconds. Nice front kick by the Pole. I was saying that Jens's domination wasn't so obvious, but right now, after the third round, I gotta admit that he is gonna be the winner of the fight, unquestionably. However, we are still waiting for the official verdict.
Szanowni Państwo, rozpoczynamy walkę w kategorii do 86 kg. 13 pojedynek w dniu dzisiejszym na ringu warszawskiego hotelu Arch i skrzyżowej Reklawice. Za moment reprezentant Węgier Marcel oraz Gorkem Damar. Next fight, fight number 13, minus 86 kilograms, Tamar Marcel Kovac, István University, Hungary, and Gorkem Damar, Istanbul University, Turkey.
Just a quick reminder that this event is taking place at the premises of the Arche Hotel on Krakowska Avenue in Warsaw, Poland.
Preparing the next fight, fight number 14, Olena Szydowska, University of Poland, and Maria Nawaciewa, University of Nowy Sącz.
And another fight has just started. Nice front kick to the body. we can see here that the competitors are way. There is a knockdown.
So preparing for the next bout, fight number 14.
There is an 8 count, so we'll see if. Okay, the fight continues. There is a towel thrown into the ring. And the fight results in a brutal knockout. We can hear the knocked out fighter moaning. Let's see that on the replay. That was a vicious body shot. Again. The competitor from the red corner needs medical aid. The fighter's corner decided to throw the towel into the ring, however, the referee couldn't have seen that. So the fight was officially stopped a couple seconds later. So congratulations to Görkem Damar from the Istanbul Kent University, Turkey.
Szanowni Państwo, za chwilę poznamy werdykt końcowy tego pojedynku kategorii 86 kg.
As you might have noticed, the guys are much bigger and much more muscular here because right now it's the under 86 kilograms division. So we can already see way more musculature. Usually the bigger the fighters, the heavier the hands.
So the winner by TKO representing Istanbul and Turkey, Görkem Damar. Görkem Damar, winner this fight.
Another victory by Turkey during the first day of the competition.
Fight number 14, minus 56 kilograms, full contact. Olena Szymowska, University of Poland, in the red corner, versus Daria Nachajcewa, University in Nowy Sącz.
And we're about to see some ladies enter the ring for the first time today.
And Daria Nachajcewa, University in Nowy Sącz. Pojedynek dwóch reprezentantek Polski już za chwilę na ringu formuła full contact, kategoria do 56 kg. A po tym pojedynku zapraszamy również na starcie kolejnych reprezentantek Polski Aleksandra Zalewska. To będzie reprezentantka Uniwersytetu Wrocławskiego, która zmierzy się z zawodniczką, która przyjechała do nas z Bałkanów, z reprezentantką Chorwacji. So the next fight, fight number 15, minus 56 kilograms, Aleksandra Zalewska.
In the next fight, we're going to see two fighters who are both representing Poland officially. Szydlowska Olena from the University of Vincent Paul versus Nachajcewa Daria from WSBNL University in Nowy Sącz. However, both fighters are Ukrainian. Nevertheless, they study in Poland, so they officially represent the host country. If you've been interested in mixed martial arts a little bit, you might recognize Szydłowska. She also fought a few times in professional MMA. Last time in 2019, she was knocked out in 19 seconds after a vicious high kick. So let's hope her defense skills have improved since then.
Panie i panowie, tak więc krawka dla wszystkich sympatyków sportu walki. Przed nami pojedynek dwóch reprezentantów Polski. Olena Szydłowska, reprezentantka Polski oraz jej przeciwniczka, oponentka Maja.
So Szydłowska is an experienced fighter in amateur kickboxing, and her professional MMA record is 1 victory and 2 losses.
University of Sącz. Olena Szydłowska started fighting the red corner. Daria Nachajcewa started fighting in the blue corner.
The fighters are Ukrainians, however there is no official Ukraine representation in kickboxing. Szydłowska started with a nice right high kick. So this time she's the one who kicks high. Nachajcewa seems to be much shorter. Another high kick. And we can see the first 8 count only after 30 seconds of the very first round. So we can already see the technical dominance in this fight. And physical as well, as I said a moment ago. Front kick to the face. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight isn't gonna last long. Not only is Nachajcewa shorter, but also she doesn't seem to have an idea what to do in this fight. And now we see another 8 count. 3 8 counts in 1 round, or 4 in total, automatically result at TKO. However, as we can see here, there is no need for another 8 count. The referee decided to stop the fight. So we can see that Szydłowska has made some progress recently, and that was an easy win for her by a technical knockout.
Szanowni Państwo, tak więc zakończył się pojedynek numer 14 w formule ringowej do 56 kg.
Only 93 seconds. That's been fast. Let's see the highlights. So it is good that the fight was stopped early, because that would be a pointless loss of health if Szydłowska's opponent, Nachajcewa, decided to continue. Safety first, always. That's the rule.
University of Split from Croatia. A więc reprezentantka Polski będzie miała okazję skonfrontować swoje umiejętności z zawodniczką, która przyjechała do nas z Bałkanów, zaciekły i zacięty będzie to, mamy nadzieję, pojedynek Aleksandra Zalewska, narożnik czerwony, i Paola Tomreczaj, narożniku niebieskim. Aleksandra Zalewska, start fight in the red corner. Paola Tomreczaj, start fight in the blue corner.
And we're waiting for another bout in the 56 kilo division.
So, ladies and gentlemen, next fight, fight number 15, minus 56 kilograms, Aleksandra Zalewska, Wrocław University of Health and Sport, reprezentantka Polski oraz jej przeciwniczka, reprezentantka Chorwacji, Paola Tomleczaj, University of Split. Aleksandra Zalewska.
In the second ladies fight, Aleksandra Zalewska in the red corner from the Wrocław University of Health and Sports Sciences, Poland, versus Tomleczaj Paola, the University of Split, Croatia. We can see a very dynamic exchange at the very beginning of the first round. A couple middle kicks. That was an expected kick. It didn't land clearly, but I think it was an attempt of an axe kick, the famous Andy Hogg technique. Very spectacular, but rarely successful in the ring.
So preparing the next bout, fight number 16, minus 60 kilograms, Laura Jakobleva, Riga State Technical School, Latvia.
Spinning kick attempt by Tomleczaj. Another unsuccessful spinning back kick.
Szanowni Państwo, my przywitajmy raz jeszcze niezwykle gorąco członka zarządu Polskiego Związku Kickboxingu, człowieka, który odpowiada za organizację dzisiejszego wydarzenia. Witamy serdecznie.
That was an axe kick, but it didn't land clean. Big hand by Zalewska, and another one, and another one. In my opinion, the Pole has won the first round. The Croatian competitor tried a lot of fancy schmancy techniques, however, they didn't land clearly. They didn't land clean, probably even once.
Przyjechała do nas, drodzy Państwo, z Chorwacji. Do następnej walki, do walki numer 16, przygotowują się reprezentantka Łotwy oraz Portugalka. Next fight, fight number 16, minus 60 kilograms, Laura Jakobleva, Riga State Technical School, Latvia, and Alice Costa Paz, University of Algarve, Portugal.
Nice combination by Paola. A front kick to the head. Oh, that was an illegal kick. A low blow. In such a distance, it was practically impossible to land such a spinning kick. So technically, it was practically impossible. But I've seen Zalewska's fights already, and I have to admit, she can use those spinning back kicks effectively in a karate-like manner. So props for that. There was a sweep attempt as well by Zaleska. We can see a lot of dirty boxing. Big right hand by Zaleska. That is a nice kick. A spinning kick. But I'm not sure if it landed clean. A few seconds left.
I zakończyła się kolejna odsłona pojedynku w kategorii do 56 kg. Aleksandra Zalewska i Paola Tomeczaj. The next round in the fight number 15 minus 56 kg. Aleksandra Zalewska, Wrocław University of Health and Sport from Poland, and Paola Tomeczaj, University of Speed from Croatia.
Paola has probably won this bout, but let's wait for the verdict, as always. That was a good spinning back kick.
Information for the fighters and coaches, fight number 19 in the ring categories is the last for the dinner break.
And the final one, the final round has started. Another spinning kick by the representative of the University of Split. Tomrasai eats a few punches, but responds with a high kick unsuccessfully. .33 seconds left, so it will be very hard for Zaleska to compensate the previous two rounds. Nice jab. Another jab by the Pole. In this fight, we could see a big number of spinning kicks from both competitors, so this is quite unusual for kickboxing. Of course, spinning kicks are part of kickboxing, but these are considered to be fancy techniques which aren't used often. So this looked like kind of taekwondo match, but with a lot of boxing added.
Szanowni Państwo, tak więc zwyciężyła tej walki reprezentantka Chorwacji. The winner this fight, Paula Tomeczaj from
And Paula Tomerchai has won this fight unanimously.
Wielkie brawa i gratulacje dla reprezentantki Chorwacji, ale również podziękowania za tą świetną postawę. Między innymi należą się reprezentantce Polski, Aleksandrze Zalewskiej. Ladies and gentlemen, the next fight, fight number 16, minus 60 kilograms, Laura Mara Jakovleva, Riga State Technical School from Latvia, and Alice Costa Vaz, University of Algarve from Portugal. Mara Laura Jakovleva starting fight in the red corner, and her opponent Alice Costa Vaz start fight in the blue corner. Przypominamy raz jeszcze, że walka numer 19 w formule ligowej będzie ostatnim pojedynkiem przed obiadową przerwą. Fight number 19 is the last fight for the dinner break.
And we're waiting for a bout in the under 60 kilos category.
Panie i panowie, my trzymaliśmy mocno kciuki za postawę
Jakovleva Laura Mara from the Riga State Technical School, Latvia, versus Costa Vaz Elise Darlan from the University of Algarve, Portugal.
Mohamed, reprezentant Turcji i Polak. Wygrał ten pojedynek. The next fight, fight number
So this is the first representative of Latvia today.
minus 74 kilograms. Mateusz Kucharz, winner this fight versus Yusuf Mohamed Bassa. Next fight, fight number 21, minus 74 kilograms. Hubert Skaya from Czech Republic and Ali Yonkonen from Turkey. This fight is started. A my rozpoczynamy walkę w kategorii do 60 kg. Pojedynek numer 16. Fight number 16. Laura Jakovleva, Riga State Technical School, and Alice Costa Vaz from the University of Algarve, Portugal.
Nice middle kicks from both legs. It's been only a dozen of seconds, but you can easily see that both ladies are very dynamic. Big left hand by Jakovleva. Costa smiles after receiving a few punches to the head, so she's not impressed with them. Trading shots every now and again. Seven seconds only.
Tak więc, drodzy Państwo, pierwsza runda pojedynku do 60 kg. Walka numer 16, walka kobiet, walka pań, dwóch studentek. Laura Mara Jakovleva i Alice Costa Vaz z Portugalii.
this is a European event. However, as we can see, there are even fighters from Africa. Of course, African countries can't participate in this event officially. However, if you were born in Cape Verde and if you study in Portugal, it's not a problem to partake in European championships.
Second round, fight number 16. Jakobleva i Alice Kostas.
No grabbing the leg. In kickboxing, it's illegal. You can do that only in Muay Thai. So no leg holding is possible. Technically, you can grab it, but like for a second, and then you gotta do some other action. In Muay Thai, you can be holding the hand, the leg for quite a while, and it's not a problem. But here, there has to be some punch after holding the leg for like a second. A switch kick attempt. Big right hand, another one. We can see a lot of trading punches between the ladies. Yakovleva collapses, but of course it's not a knockdown. 7 seconds only. Nice exchange by the ropes. And the fight ends with a nice jab by Yakovleva. According to the judges, Yakovleva from Latvia is winning the fight unanimously, as of now. We can see the coach giving advice to the competitor. It's probably the first time today the coach has been a woman. Most coaches in the sport are men because, let's be honest, this isn't a very feminized discipline of sport. However, I gotta admit it's slowly changing because there are more and more women in the martial arts world, not only kickboxing but in general. I remember back in the day, seeing a woman on a kickboxing training session was something even exotic, I would say. Not such a long time ago, even 5 years ago, it was pretty unusual for women to do kickboxing, but right now it's changing. We can see more and more ladies in the dojos. So it's not unusual anymore when it comes to competitors, but yeah, when it comes to coaches, this sport has been dominated by men. Nice jab by the Latvian. Kostavas receives a lot of straight punches and she doesn't know what to do with that. In the first round she was smiling, but she doesn't have a reason to smile now.
Szanowni Państwo, ostatnia runda pojedynku w kategorii do 60 kg. Reprezentantka Łotwy oraz zawodniczka, która przyjechała nas z Portugalii. Zobaczymy, która z nich okazała się w tym starciu lepsza. The last round, round number 3 in fight number 16, minus 16 kg. Laura Mara Jakobleva, State Technical School from Latvia, and Alice Kostavas from University of Hungary.
The verdict should be just a formality here.
So we hear the verdict. Laura Mara Jakobleva or Alice Kostavas. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this fight is Mara Laura Jakobleva, Riga State Technical School from Latvia. Congratulations. Zwyciężczynią tej walki reprezentantka Łotwy, która oczywiście przechodzi do dalszego etapu
Let's see the replay.
akademickich mistrzostw Europy w Warszawie. A my zapraszamy Państwa teraz na pojedynek z udziałem kolejnej z reprezentantek Polski. Rękawice skrzyżuje m.in. Julia Marciniak z Łodzi oraz Laurena Populian. The next fight, fight number 17 in 16 kg. Full contact in the red corner. Fight starting. Laurena Paulian, University of Rouen, France. In the blue corners are fighting Julia Marciniak, University of Humanities and Economics in Łódź. Zapraszamy Państwa gorąco na wielkie emocje związane z ringową rywalizacją. Pojedynek numer 17, fight number 17, minus 16 kg. Laurena Populian, University of Rouen, France, and Julia Marciniak, University of Humanities and Economics in Łódź, Poland. Laurena Paulian, University of Rouen, red corner.
In the second one, in another fight, excuse me, we're going to watch another bout in the under 60 kilograms category. Bulan Lorena from the University of Rouen, France, versus Marciniak Julia from the University of Humanities and Economics in Łódź, Poland. So we can see a fighter from France for the first time today. Trading shots from the very beginning of the first round. And there was an attempt, a sidekick attempt, but it didn't work. It doesn't work. The referee reminds the competitor to kick above the belt. Big right hand by the Polish fighter.
I przypominamy ponownie szkoleniowcom oraz trenerom poszczególnych ekipów, śledzić na bieżąco terminarz i szczegółowo rozpiskę dotyczącą pojedynków związanych
You can see a height
z uniformą planszową.
discrepancy between the two competitors. The pole is shorter. There was an attempt
Schedule of the first day.
for a kick, but it didn't work. Marcinak's ring generalship is definitely better than the opponent's, so the referee has to break the fighters. So for me, the winner of the first round is very obvious.
Drodzy Państwo, tak więc zakończyła się rywalizacja w formułach planszowych. Oczywiście podczas tej wczesno-popołudniowej sesji.
Poulon is taller than Marciniak, but she doesn't seem to use this advantage a lot.
At 3 p.m. we will start at the next fight in the tatami order. A my rozpoczynamy kolejną rundę w starciu w kategorii do 60 kg. Formuła full contact, walka numer 17, reprezentantka Francji Laurena Bobulian i Julia Maciejak. A więc reprezentantka Polski już między innymi.
Round
Laurena
2.
Bobulian, University of Rouen France, Julia Maciejak, University of Humanities and Economics. Next round.
There is a dynamic exchange in the corner, which is broken. And the French competitor received her official warning for kicking too low.
For the next bout, preparing next fighters, Wiktoria Wiśniewska, University of Zielona Góra and
Again,
Bulgarka,
an illegal
Wiśniewska,
technique.
University of Debrecen, Hungary. This will be fight number 18 minus 65 kilograms.
If Poulon continues to do so, she might be even disqualified. We can see some kind of taekwondo stance by the pole. And this time, the Polish competitor receives an official warning for the same reason. We also have to remember that those warnings may matter when it comes to the official score. An axe kick attempt, however, the distance was horrible for that. No head holding. If a fighter receives several warnings, even though they aren't disqualified, they may lose the fight due to points deducted. So let's remember that fair play also matters for the judges. 20 seconds left. Big right hand by the French. but it's not gonna change anything. The dominance by the pole is even blatant here, I would say. As usual, let's see the replays.
Przypominamy, że przed nami jeszcze obiadową przerwą dwie walki. Walka między innymi z udziałem reprezentantki Polski Wiktoria Śniegowska, reprezentantka uczelni z Zielonej Góry, krzyżuje rękawice w formule full contact do 65 kg, a jej przeciwniczką będzie Krystyna Wądarka. Next fight, fight number 18, minus 65 kg. Preparing the boat, Wiktoria Śniegowska, University of Zielona Góra, and Krystyna.
And the final round starts. Clinch again. Minus point for the French. So this is definitely going to have an impact on the scorecard, which guarantees an even easier win for Marciniak. Another big right hand by Julia. No head holding. Has the French fighter been disqualified? It seems so. She has fouled the Polish fighter multiple times. And the first disqualification today, due to multiple rules violations. However, even if the fighter hadn't been disqualified, I think we could easily tell who won this bout. So that was total dominance by the representative of the University of Humanities and Economics in Łódź. So this is the first fight won by a representative of the Polish team, the host of our event in Warsaw. Women under 65 kilograms, Śniegowska Wiktoria from the University of Zielona Góra, Poland, versus Timar Bolgarka Krystyna from the University of Debrecen, Hungary.
Wiktoria Śniegowska, University of Zielona Góra, in the red corner versus Krystyna Bolgarka Timar, University of Debrecen.
65 kilograms, let's say this is kind of a light heavyweight for women. And there are also two more categories, under 70 kilograms and plus 70. However, we haven't seen any fights in those weight divisions yet.
I szanowni Państwo, jeszcze jedna istotna informacja dla wszystkich tych, którzy oczywiście śledzą formuły planszowe w kategorii do 63 kg w obiadowej przerwie. Czeka nas walka z udziałem reprezentanta Turcji, Mustawy Turka, oraz zawodnika, który przyjechał do nas z Półwyspu Iberyjskiego, dokładnie z Portugalii. Będzie to Olivier Cunha Rafael Duro. Ci zawodnicy, a więc dwaj fajterzy, którzy będą mieli okazję skrzyżować rękawice w formule planszowej. fight. So we will see the next fight, fight number 23. Kick fight minus 63 kilograms, Ankara University, Turkey, Mustafa Turk versus Olivier Cunha Rafael Nuno from Portugal. Jeszcze ostatnie wskazówki przekazane przez szkoleniowca reprezentującej barwy Uniwersytetu w Zielonej Górze, Wiktorii Śniegowskiej. Wiktoria Śniegowska, red corner. Fight number 18, minus 65 kilograms. Please welcome.
And both competitors are finally in the ring,
Wiktoria Śniegowska versus Kristina
so we can get started.
University of Debrecen, Hungary.
The referee reminds the competitors to avoid low kicking. As we could see, violating the rules ended up in a disqualification. It wasn't only about low kicking, but there were more violations. But yeah, one of the most common faults in full contact is to attack the legs, which, except the sweep, is illegal. The pose may be a bit rocked after that punch. Again, the referee says to kick up. So who knows, maybe there will be one more disqualification due to not kicking up. Nice exchange of shots. That was a big shot by Timar. Oh, that was a good shot, but it doesn't end in a knockdown. And this is at the end of round one.
Pierwsza runda, pierwsza odsłona tego pojedynku już za nami, kategoria do 65 kg. Full contact, fight number 18, full contact, minus 65 kg. A my, drodzy Państwo, już za chwilę rozpoczynać będziemy drugą rundę. Let's start it, second round.
That was a nice punch. Unfortunately, didn't lead to a knockdown. Round two. And the referee says kick up again. I don't know, maybe the 10th time. All nice shots to the head. A lot of dirty boxing. The fight is a tad chaotic, a bit too much clinching. According to the judges, the Hungarian competitor is winning the fight unanimously. But it may change in a while because Timar receives an official warning for holding. Four seconds.
Tak więc za nami druga odsłona pojedynku w kategorii do 65 kg. Wiktoria Wiśniewska i Włocharka Krystyna Timar. Second round is finished. Wiktoria Wiśniewska versus...
The fight is going toe-to-toe in my opinion. So it's a bit difficult to tell who is actually winning.
The next round, round number 3. Wiktoria Wiśniewska, University of Zielona Góra, Poland. Krystyna Włocharka Timar, University of Debrecen, Hungary.
As of now, I can see there is a draw announced by the referees. But of course, there is still one more round to go. When it comes to draws in general in martial arts, they are very rare because, first of all, when it comes to tournaments, they aren't even possible. Because if a fight ends up in a draw, we don't know who should receive a medal, right? Because this is a tournament and every tournament has a structure, so if you want to advance to another round, you gotta win the fight. So draws are impossible when it comes to amateur fights, at least tournament ones, because this rule doesn't need to apply to the so-called extra fights. When it comes to professional bouts, draws are also very rare, but not impossible. In case of a draw, an extra round is announced. So fighters whose record is like, in which records there are 200 fights or something, may have 1 or 2 draws during their multilineal career. So it is extremely unusual to have more than 1 or 2 draws in an entire career in a combat sport. However, again, when it comes to draws, a very peculiar situation took place during a UFC event. In the main event of the evening, Mark Hunt fought Antonio Silva, but as I remember, one of the fighters was on juice. And yes, at first the fight ended up in a draw, but it was later on overturned by the Anti-Doping Federation. And in one fighter's record, the fight is a no contest, in the other's one is still a draw. So that is extremely unusual. I've heard of only one such situation in martial arts in general. But of course, after the third round, a draw will be impossible, and we can see that the Polish competitor is going to win this bout unanimously. So Śniegowska is the winner.
Śniegowska, Wiktoria Śniegowska, University of Zielona Góra, win this fight. Congratulations, Wiktoria. Wiktoria Śniegowska zwyciężczynią pojedynku w kategorii do 65 kg w formule full contact. Przed nami jeszcze jeden pojedynek przed powiedzą przerwą. The next fight, fight number 19.
And it's been just announced that there's going to be only one more fight before the lunch break. So after the fight, there is going to be a break of approximately 60 minutes. And after that, we're going to broadcast the afternoon session, during which we are going to be watching fights in the K1 formula this time.
From Latvia, red corner versus Robert Rezo, Croatia, blue corner.
So this time, gentlemen are competing. Gangurde Karen Satish from the Riga Strandis University, Latvia, versus Rezo Robert from the University of Zagreb, Croatia. Quarterfinals, full contact, under 67 kilograms. We can see the brownish trunks, pants, representing Latvia. And that was a really smart uppercut by the blue fighter. A good hook. A nice overhand by Rezo. Only 67 kilograms, but you can see these hands are heavy. And the guys do dirty boxing. Ooh. That was only slip, no 8 count. Side kick by Guarda. That was excellent. We can see that Robert Rezo's boxing is very good, and thanks to it, he may win this fight. After the first round, he's the winner unanimously, according to the judges.
From Latvia versus Robert Rezo from Croatia. Fight number 19. Full contact minus 67 kilograms.
That was a good right hand. However, it wasn't powerful enough to lead to a knockout. However, the timing was still very good. As always, 1 minute to rest. The referee makes sure that the fighters are wearing protectors. There is a problem. The fight is stopped. That was heavy. We can see a lot of aggressiveness at the beginning of round 2. We'll see whether Rezo manages to continue his domination in the ring. Side kick. You can hear the fighters shouting while punching, so it means that there is a lot of power and energy put into every single punch. Break. That was nice. So this is a European level of performance, with no doubt. Ten seconds. Both fighters swing for the fences at the end of round 2. Don't seem to be even tired. So I've got to admit that all of the fighters are really well prepared for this event, both technically and cardiacally. There has been no situation in which the fighter was too tired to continue. So physically, everyone is prepared very well. In the meantime, if you are interested, I also encourage you to watch other streams of the 2025 European Universities Combat Championships, both in kickboxing, because we are also broadcasting point fighting, kick light, but also judo, taekwondo, and karate. "90 seconds left. Whoa. Heavy hands. If I didn't know, I wouldn't say these fighters are featherweights, because not only are they pretty muscular, but also you can see a lot of powers in those shots. They are literally devastating. Nice combo. Sweep plus right hook. Both fighters are really active in the ring. However, the representative of the Riga Stranded University is likely to win. Big right hand by Rezo. Eight seconds. And the fight is over. So congratulations for both competitors for a really good example of how kickboxing should look. And that was a really interesting bout. And as always, let's wait for the official score. No knockout, however, still one of the best fights so far. And surprisingly, Rezo is the winner. For most of the time, the Latvian seemed to be the dominant competitor. And this is the last fight for the morning session, and we are about to start a break. We are going to come back to broadcasting this event at 3 o'clock, and we're going to be watching fights in the K1 formula. So the lunch break is going to be a bit longer than expected, around 90 minutes as I can see. So see you at 3. Thank you for your time for watching. My name is Patrick Powys, and I have been commenting this event for you. See you in an hour and a half. Thank you very much.